The New England Patriots' 21-game winning streak here at Gillette Stadium is snapped by the Kansas City Chiefs 23-16. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Mike Petraglia and Evan Lazar. And off the top, I just want to say we did do a full video on the poor officiating in this game. Check that out on CLNSmedia.com. But we also want to talk about the actual game itself and the defense. Let's start with that, because other than the Patriots' first drive that got them on the board first, they then had 20 unanswered points scored against them, and they don't really have the manpower right now to come back from that. So this defense we've praised all year long. What happened in that first half that kind of led to that sort of breakdown?
I really think, guys, that they got too soft. For the second straight week, we talked about this first half, and we saw it at least in Houston, where they were playing a lot of zone, and the Texans were completing a lot of passes over the middle. Well, I think the Chiefs saw something in that, and you saw a lot of passes over the middle. You saw a lot of passes, lag passes, behind receivers heading downfield, and the Chiefs and Mahomes finding that lag receiver with wide open space. That's because the Patriots were not playing, I think, particularly aggressively, and Devin McCourty mentioned that after the game, and a couple of defensive players mentioned that they just weren't aggressive in the first half. I think they need to come out the rest of the season and do what they did offensively last year. I think defensively at the end of the season, they need to be more aggressive.
They need to impose their will on teams defensively,
Right.
Because right now, I said it to you at the end of the game when they were kind of trying to stage a comeback. I said, if they don't get a short field for the offense, then they're not going to come back, because this offense is not about to drive 75 yards on the Chiefs defense, right? So this defense needs to not only score some points maybe for the offense, but also set the offense up into favorable field position also. And I think the biggest thing in the first half, you mentioned the zone coverage. They played a ton of that soft cover too, and they were just really soft, and they were pushing back deep to protect against the deep ball, and they were just hitting those underneath passes all day long. And to Patrick Mahomes' credit, he was just willing to take it, right? He wasn't really trying to push the ball down the field all that much outside of the McCole Hardman touchdown, and he was willing to just take those little dump off passes and let his guys run with it. The second half, the Patriots players said that, yeah, they turned up the aggressiveness, yeah, they just got a little bit better execution out of what they wanted to run, but they also disguised a little bit more in the coverage in the back end, were able to confuse Patrick Mahomes a little bit and get him to hold the ball and make him a little bit more uncomfortable. So they end up giving 3 points up in the second half. You give up 23 points at home, you expect to win those games, especially when you're quarterbacked by Tom Brady, right? Those are games that you expect to win every single time. So really, this defense played as good as they could have played against this Kansas City offense, and it's on the offense to score more than 16 points at home.
And offensively, I mean, this is a team that was booed off the field at halftime at Gillette Stadium. I don't know how many times Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have heard that throughout their time together here. But again, another slow start for the Patriots offense. They did pick things up a little bit in the second half. That was due to a lot of trick plays. We'll go into depth about that in another video as well. But what did you glean from this Patriots offense and the lack of N'Keal Harry through the majority of the first portion of this game?
Well, I don't think they trust N'Keal Harry to run defined routes. And we've heard over the years how many times that Tom Brady needs you to be in a specific spot when he releases the ball. And if you're not there, he's not going to go to you. Mm-hmm. And at this point, it's gotten to the point where N'Keal Harry can't even be trusted to be put out on the field to try and attempt to get to those spots. And that's unfortunate for the Patriots. And right now, he is a red zone weapon, and that's it.
Yeah, they ran a couple of plays. I think it was about 4